help you complete this Week 8 Formula Practice Task 1. So we click on the task to open it up. Okay, so I've got two open here somehow. Right, so the first tab is called Basic Formulae. We've got some tasks to do here. And if you look along the bottom here, you've got Sale, which is the second task, and Cinema, which is the third task, so don't forget they're there. Basic Formulae, we are looking here, so click on the cell you want to hold the answer in, so the answers need to go in the grey cells coming down here. Enter the equal sign, so it talks you through the entire task here. Enter the cell reference of your first number, so we're going to do this number, add this number, so the cell reference of this number is B16, and remember you don't have to type B16, you can just click and it will automatically put that cell in there. Then it says enter the operator, i.e. add, subtract, etc. So we're adding, so we put the add sign in. And then enter the cell reference of your second number. Click, enter on the keyboard. And that's it. So that's all we do for this. So we go equals, click, what we're doing here, add, click, enter. Equals this, subtract this time, that, enter. I'm just going to jump down here, so we've got this one, equals that, multiply, remember use the star for multiply, that one, and then divide, equals that, divided by that, enter, and you fill in all the gaps here, so you should get 8 out of 8 on that, okay, and there's a reminder here of the operators that we use. Right, moving down to task 2, some of these are a bit more complicated and you've got to think about a bit more. So you need to enter a formula similar to task 1, but this time use 3 cells for your numbers 1, 2 and 3. Put your formula in the yellow box answers. So here we're going to add 5 and 3 and 2. It doesn't matter that it's 5, 3 and 2. This could be 50,370 and 2.86. It doesn't matter. But we're going to add them together. So equals that plus that plus that. And remember, the reason we use the cell references is because if that changed to, say, 3 became 20, as soon as I press enter on my keyboard, you see the answer changes. If I put 5 plus 3 plus 2 in here, which is what we're doing, I might get the correct answer, but if that changed to 20, the answer doesn't update, because it's looking at numbers, it's not looking at cells. So it's really important with Excel that we do, let's just change that back to 3, equals, so it's F44 added to G44 added to H44, regardless of what's in those cells, that is what we're adding together. Same here, add 10, 20 and 30, subtract 3 and 4 from 20, so here we need to do it the other way around, so we're going to equals 20, take away 3, and then take away 4. There are different ways you could do that one. Here, same principle, subtract 30 and 50 from 100. So we could do equals 100, and we're going to subtract these away from it, so we could add them together. So we're doing equals this, take away the next two added together. So it's effectively 100, take away 80. Sometimes you've got to think about the answers. Here, divide 100 by 2, then again by 2. So equals that, divided by that, divided by that. Simple as that. So it's quite logical. So you can work your way through those. The sale task, you've got a few more numbers to add together. So these two people, Sean and Jane, are doing a car boot sale and have priced up the following items. So we're going to enter formulae in cells that have a red triangle only. Okay, so where will you see a red triangle, that's where we need to put your formulae. So here, how much will be the total of these sales? So equals, effectively doing that, plus that, plus that, plus that, plus that, which is great. But you imagine there are 30 of these prices together, or if you're doing a spreadsheet on sales in a business, you can't be clicking B6 plus B7 plus B8 plus B9 plus B20 plus B whatever. It's going to take you all day. So although we get the right answer, we're going to start using a formula. So what we're doing is we're doing a sum, aren't we? We're adding a load of numbers together. It's a big sum. So Excel knows the word sum. So we'll type the word sum. It comes up with all sorts of other words it could be. These are very complex formula, but we're just going to do a simple sum, and then we put this in brackets. And what we do then is we can just click and drag, and it tells me that it's going to add together everything between B6 all the way through to B10. So this colon sign here, the two dots, which is the shift and the button next to the L on your keyboard, means in the formula it's all the cells between the two numbers of the two references it's given. So it's a sum of everything between B6 and B10. Close the bracket and press enter so you get the same. So here again, equals sum bracket. It doesn't have to be capital sum, just type it in, click and drag, close your bracket, enter. Okay. Who will get the most if they sell everything? You just type a name in there. So we can see here it's Sean, and that's all it wants for that. Okay, they also have some CDs and DVDs to sell, so the cost is £4. There are 23 of them, so that means they're going to earn, if you multiply them together, 23 lots of 4. And here, just multiply them together, really simple. And then the total is another sum, and this time it's these two added together. Okay, so how much will they make if they sell everything? So that's all of these and these. So this is this plus this plus this. So we're adding the three totals together to give us our final total, okay? And then this task down here, we're going to use auto sum. So auto sum, if you look up here, is this function here. So we can type in sum, brackets, click and drag, and that's fine. When you use auto sum will look for the numbers you're trying to add together. Okay. At the moment, I'm pressing escape to get rid of this, by the way. When you get these dotted lines and you think, I can't get rid of it, and it's just doing all sorts, just press escape on your keyboard. So with AutoSum, what it's doing is it's looking up to say, what is it you want me to add together? Now, I don't just want C43, I want to add these together. So you see, as soon as I click and drag, it changes the reference here. Let me show you that again. So I press AutoSum, and then while it's sort of tingling around and it's got this highlight, I can just click and drag, and it creates the sum for me, and enter. So all I've had to do is press a button with my mouse, click and drag with my mouse, and then enter on my keyboard. So literally in 2 clicks and then enter, you've got your whole formula. Okay. Right, final task on here is the cinema task. So we're going to look at creating the total weekly ticket sales for each film using the sum function. So again here, equals sum, bracket, and we want the total for each line here. Click, drag, enter. Okay? Equals sum, brackets, click and drag just to those, enter. And you can see it's a D7 to J7. Now as soon as you start doing things in Excel that are repetitive, so I could end up doing this exactly the same thing now 7 times, couldn't I, for each 1, 2, 3, yeah, for each day, for each movie. But actually Excel can copy formula for me. So instead of keep doing the same thing, so equals sum, click and drag, enter, equals sum for the same cells, I can just copy this down. So when I click on my cell, you see down the bottom right hand side there's a thick green square. Not so easy to see on here, but you see whenever I click on a cell I get this thick green corner. If I click on that corner, can you see instead of a white cross I get a little black cross that appears? You see the change of my cursor? Once that changes to a black cross, I can just click and drag and it will copy the formula down. So I can click here and see that it says sum D6 to J6, that's correct. Here, sum D7 to J7. Here, sum D8 to G8. Sum D10 to J10. So it just copies the formula. So it just says, oh, you're going to do the same every time. That's fine. I'll do that for you. So that click and copy down, we'll practice that in a minute as well on another task. Okay, then we're going to use a formula called min. So as well as sum, we can also find the minimum number, the smallest number in a group. So this here is showing me the least ticket sales. So out of all the sales on a Friday, which film sold the least tickets? So I don't have to look through this and think, yeah, it was this one. I just use a min formula. So equals min, exactly the same, D6 to D12. So what is the minimum number between these cells? So I'm just going to retype it to show you. So equals min, brackets, click and drag. Exactly the same as you do for sum, but instead use the word min at the beginning. Click and drag. Okay, now once again we're being repetitive here, aren't we? So we're doing the minimum of these, the minimum of these. That's going to take more time. What I can do is I can click on either one of these because I know they're both correct. Go to that green square and drag across. It doesn't look like anything's happening really, but you can see the little line moving over. Get to here, let go, and it copies the formula across for each column. So straight away I've got all my minimums. Okay, now we're going to find the maximum sales for each day. So instead of equals min, we're going to use equals max. And again, it's those cells there. Now straight away I know that I'm going to have to repeat that across here. So I'm going to use that and I'm just going to click and drag it to there. So that's now worked out my maximum for every day that week. Okay. Now here it says calculate the best selling and worst selling film for each day and the total using the min and max function. So here I need to find the total of that row and the total of that row. So we're back to sum, aren't we? So equals sum, bracket, click and drag. And again, this is in my way a bit. I can move that out of the way. I can copy that down because it's exactly the same. Okay. Then the next task here is to find the average. So what we're trying to find here is the average amount per day of ticket sales. So instead of min max, we just type equals average. And again, click and drag. And simple as anything, click and drag, move that over. And again, we want the total. Of these. Okay. Right, and then these questions down here, all you need to do is put a word in. So it asks, basically, is the answer min or is it max? So use the sum, min, max and average formula for the above spreadsheet to answer the questions below. So on Saturday, which film sold the most tickets? So on Saturday, the maximum was 2,700. So the film was James Bond Casino Royale. So I can just highlight my text here, copy it, click here and paste. Sorry, let me just double click in here and paste. I haven't got to retype every film. And to find the most tickets, I used max, not min. On Tuesday, which had the lowest tickets, so on Tuesday, the lowest, which was min, 150, that was Borat. So I can copy that, copy, double click in there, get rid of that, and paste. And to use the lowest, find the lowest, it was a min that I did. And that's it, that's all you do for each of these. So you decide if it was a min or a max that you used and type your answer in here. And that's that task. Then you submit it on Citybit.